Hey there, welcome to the Million Dollar Marketing Show. I'm your host, Jody Sedini. Dive deep with us into the marketing maze where we're going to tackle the big business questions head on, share expert insights, and crack the code on what it really takes to take your business to $1 million and beyond. Whether you're a battle-tested entrepreneur or just stepping into the arena, this podcast is your arsenal for strategies that hit the mark, expert advice that you can bank on, and of course, a good laugh or two. So grab your drink of choice, settle in, and let's get ready to turn your business into a powerhouse together. Hey guys, it's Jody Sedini. Welcome back to another episode of Million Dollar Marketing. Today we're going to be talking about something called always on retargeting with your Facebook ads. So this is actually a really interesting concept because a lot of people in the industry, they're going to talk about TOF or MOF or BOF. That's really weird words. And people who aren't in it don't always understand that. So before we go about what this concept of always on retargeting means, first I want to introduce you to retargeting in general, okay? So retargeting in general is when an ad shows up in your feed after you've interacted with that business, either their Instagram or you've been Googling them or you landed on a landing page or you've saved a post in their social media, commented on their Instagram, you've sent them a message, you've been on their website, anything like that. So any one of those things puts you in a bucket of this business, if they're pixeling you right and doing their Facebook ads right, for them to retarget you and show you another ad after you've had any action or interaction with their social media, their website, things like that. So let's just talk about this a little bit further. So as a consumer, you might see this if you're on Instagram and you interact with somebody's profile or post, and then you're on Facebook later and you see an ad for that person. And sometimes we're like, how'd they do that? Are they reading my mind? No, it's just retargeting. So you do something I do something a little bit unique, and I have my own strategy for this. And I'm calling it the always on retargeting. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about that right now. So first of all, the name of always on retargeting helps you understand that it's exactly that. It's always on. It should always be running, even if you're new to running Facebook ads or if you've been running ads for a long time. So we're going to have different messaging content buckets as well that are going to help you with having different pieces of content that show up in your always on retargeting. I do want to make a side note that this is separate from your other retargeting. So if you've got a sales funnel, your agency is probably doing this, or if you're doing your ads yourself, you've probably got where they're opting into something and then there's a sales page. And if they don't buy the thing on the back end, you're retargeting them with a specific conversion or sales ad to come back and buy that thing. And this is different. Okay. This is not part of that. With this, it's around those content buckets, those messaging content buckets. And those content buckets are going to be credibility, likability. They're going to build trust. They're going to build that personal relationship with you. So this is for people who have a service-based industry or a high-ticket coaching product, or even, offering low-ticket products on the front end, but really you want to sell your high-ticket thing on the back end. And so when we take all of that and we combine that with the power of frequency, like I just looked at their website and now I'm seeing all of these things, these awards, these PR placements, things like sipping margaritas on a beach or singing at church or something. That's one of the things that I do. And so you're creating relatability and you're showing up in their feed and it's always on and it only takes like $2 a day. So I'm a huge believer in this, and it's a lower budget because that's really all that's needed. to show up in front of those people. So when you hear sometimes that you have to spend crazy amounts of money on Facebook ads, you really don't. And even if you're not running any other ads right now, you can have this strategy going on in the back end. And if you have an agency, just ask them to implement this for you of like, hey, can I have some always on retargeting? Or if you need an agency to implement that for you, we actually help pull out those messaging buckets. We help you write that content, and we help write that content, and we put that together with really great images and videos so that we get that showing up in your ideal client's feed. So we only need a small budget because it's simply reaching the people that have interacted with you somewhere. And if you think about that, it's a very small percentage, right? So if you think about all the people that are seeing your ads or are visiting your website, it's a very small amount of people compared to the giant, enormous, huge audiences that are available to be made on the back end in Facebook ads. So at the ad set level, if I want to think about putting together like a lookalike audience that I want my cold ads to go to, that's probably going to be like 11 to 15 million people that are going to need to see that ad. And that's going to cost more, right? We're going to put a lot more of our budget towards that. But when we're talking about this retargeting, it's such a tiny piece of your budget. And I actually heard a story recently from a friend of mine who said that she had her retargeting on, and this was 2 years ago, that someone saw her retargeting and they then finally clicked through and she signed a 6-figure contract with her. And she was like, I saw your retargeting and you kept showing up. It took 2 years. Now, come on. It's still okay for us to like sign a 6-figure contract after 2 years. And if you think about that, like it's okay for it to take that long, but she's been building that trust and nurturing and showing up until it was finally like, oh, that's the right thing I needed to see in order to get me over that little hump of being ready to buy with you. So you want to put your ad in front of you for the purpose, or when you put ads in front of someone for the purpose of conversion, it's going to cost a little bit more, but that's just getting the ad in front of them, right? So it costs a little bit more for a conversion-based ad for a bigger audience, and it costs very little for Facebook to put your retargeting stuff in front of that tiny audience that has landed on your website or anything like that. So instead of like a Super Bowl ad to the entire world or the entire stadium, right? You're just showing the ads to the people in the seats that have already interacted with you. So you're not competing with as many people on Facebook, and it doesn't cost as much. So it ends up having this effect of like, yesterday, I didn't even know that you existed. And I landed on your website and I checked everything out. And then every time I open my phone now I see your face. And it's so interesting because it just makes it easier for them to decide that you are the one, that you are the expert that they want to work with, which is really, really cool because it takes such a small budget. So, sometimes we get a little bit of resistance from our clients around this. They're like, how will this work? Why does this work? And really, the time that it takes sometimes to fill out that messaging buckets worksheet, because it's really sitting down and filling that out. And they've had like awards and they've had publicity and they're not sure how to leverage that in their ads. And this is exactly it. If you've done the work of getting awards and you've done the work of having publicity, this is an exact moment when all of that becomes worth it. Cause I know I've had an award-winning Facebook group before. I've had amazing PR publications that I've worked hard for and I've paid money for. And this is the moment in time when you get to leverage that. And the other person, or the other way that this can help you is like, it can connect that likability. It can really connect them to you. So whether you're a dog person or a cat person, if you like margaritas on the beach or you like to sing about Jesus, right? Those things are going to be relatable to your ideal client. And it's also going to repel the people who are not your ideal client. So that's something that's really, really cool. It really builds that know, like, and trust and builds that connection. I've been doing this for my own ads and it's really, really working well. And it's just an amazing, amazing process to see. So, you've got people in the dog camp, you've got people in the cat camp, and a dog person. If you're a cat person, a dog person might not come and work with you. but the cat people totally will. So if you're selling high ticket or you're selling coaching, the people are interacting with you and they really want to know you as a person. They want to get to know you. They want to just think about it. They want to really understand who you are before they get out their wallet and invest money in working with you. I've seen this method close the gap of the customer journey where we've had, an average of 90 to 120 days before, from first click until conversion, and then bringing that down into like 60 days, right? I know I gave an example of someone who took 2 years, but seriously, either way, it's worth it to run like $2 to $3 a day on your retargeting ads and actually show up in people's feed and get them to know, like, and trust you. So if you're someone who's like, how do I get that credibility? How do I build that trust with my audience? I want you to be able to leverage those buckets. And so I want you to just start creating some of that content and put it up on your page, on your actual organic page. And then you just go into Facebook and you put a little bit of ad spend behind it. Okay. It's really easy to do in my opinion, but honestly, it's really easy. So it's as easy as deciding what your content is going to be, what sets you apart, what makes you likable, what makes people actually want to connect with you and actually want to pull out their wallet and work with you. What do you stand for? What do you stand against? What is something that you can take a stand against? What credibility do you have? Do you have any certifications? Do you have any awards? Do you have PR placements that set you apart, and position you as an authority? Since we're talking about this, I want to actually give you a next step to do. If you want help with your messaging buckets and figuring out exactly what to post, what to say, what you should put forward in your retargeting, I want you to go to sedinimarketing.com/DFY ads. We'll make sure that we put the link around this video or in the show notes. And we will just have a conversation. Just click the button. There's an application and book a call. I just want to know a little bit more about you before we get on the call, but we'll get on a call. We'll get to know you a little bit more about like what's working, what's not, how I can help you, and we'll talk about what that looks like. So if that means that you're a good fit for working with us on your ads, that also includes your messaging buckets. We do this for all of our Facebook ad clients, and I look forward to hearing from you and seeing if we can help you with your messaging buckets as well. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the $1 Million Marketing Show. If you enjoyed today's deep dive into the world of marketing, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you never miss an episode. And hey, if you're feeling extra generous, drop us a review and spread the word to your fellow entrepreneurs. Your support means the world to us, and it really helps us reach more entrepreneurs just like you. Until next time, remember that in business, if you're not moving forward, you're falling behind. I'll catch you on the next episode.